good good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are viewing from. You can be viewing from anywhere in the world, and so glad that you are here. So, on this episode that we have today, we have, as always, because this is a platform for visionary women, we have another incredible guest. But just before we get started, just a little bit of who I am, because it's not about me, it's about the women that we bring on. I'm Leslie George, the CEO and founder of Mosaic Inc. and also Mosaic Sparks, which is this platform where we highlight visionary women. So, our guest for today is none other than Cherise Gillum. She has a bachelor's degree in business administration. She is a USAF vet. She's very dynamic, high energy entrepreneur who has filled many roles. And as an entrepreneur, any of you that will be joining us, you know that that takes on many different faces. So, both in the nonprofit and the for profit area, where she's raised over $10 million to support nonprofit work. She has been awarded the Gold Medal Service Award by President Barack Obama, and June 9th proclaimed as she has her own day in Maui, Cherise Gillum Day in Maui, Hawaii. She's very humble. I absolutely love and adore her, knowledgeable, and has been an entrepreneur for probably a little bit over 30 years. So I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to bring her to stage. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, good crack of dawn because it's not morning quite yet where I am. So for all of you who are on the Pacific Coast, good morning, and we're gonna watch the sunrise together.
Awesome, awesome. So, Cherise, I just gave them a little bit about you. So,
Yeah.
tell us, who is Cherise? What does Cherise like? And why did you get into entrepreneurship?
So I will tell you the truth. I am a person who loves people. And I've just always loved people and I love to help. I can remember being a little kid. If you fell off your bike, I'd run over and help you get up and get you back on your bike. I just have a love of people. And that is really what started my journey. It is what led me to the military. And even then I traveled a lot in the military. People say, oh, you can only move every 4 years. I moved every 6 months in the military just because of the type of work that I did. It was, and I just loved helping people, and that is really what drove me into getting into coaching later. Maybe about 10 plus years into my entrepreneurial story, I then started doing business coaching and teaching people how to build a business the right way, right? Because the first thing we think of is we just want to get out there and bring the world whatever our vision is. But we don't think about all that back end stuff, taxes, tax ID numbers, how to set up a corporation correctly, how to set up a nonprofit organization correctly. So I really got into coaching people about how to build a business from the ground up, because it's what I had done. I'd started in my garage and we grew it to 40,000 square foot building and $500,000 of equipment and 15 employees. So I learned a lot along the way. And then about how to get government contracts, how to be a women owned business, how to be a veteran owned business. Um, and I'll tell you, those things are really important to know. And if you are in anyone, how to be a minority owned business, how to be minority owned, veteran owned, and woman owned, go get every certification and go after those contracts, right? And I would then get into telling people how to do that. I just found that when someone would come back to me and say, Sharice, I got my contract, or I got my certification, and some of it is a journey. Sometimes it's not very easy to do, but I would be there with them through the whole way. The reward, Leslie, is nothing like it. It is like getting applause on stage to see people actually achieve that thing that they're going after. So that was really what kind of broke me into being an entrepreneur. Oh, your microphone.
Girl, technology here,
I
right?
love it. I love it, and I hate it. And me and technology be like, because it is. Go ahead.
What I really admire what you just said is when the women come back and said, I've gotten these certifications and they're now able to scale their business even more,
Yeah.
and the joy that you feel. Not a lot of times people talk about that. You hear people on the front end is I love to help people. And that's usually why we get into service based, any type of service based business or nonprofits, whatever it is. But what I admire that you said is you talked about it on the back end, and seldomly have I ever heard anyone come back and say about the feeling. And I'm always about how does X make you feel? So thank you for sharing that, because now that can someone can lean into, yeah, the front end, I love to help people, but why is that? Because you know what that feeling is. So kudos to you for spreading. I look at that as spreading the joy of humanity,
Yeah.
because we were just sharing just a while ago, we can do good by ourselves, right? But we can do so much greater, so much faster with others. And the more I have this thing about putting those breadcrumbs out, putting those seeds out, the more that we can help others get
Yes.
to their dreams quicker and faster, because we may have the knowledge, the expertise, the patience, or whatever.
Yes.
How much are we doing for humanity? So
Yes.
so
And you know
thank
what?
you so
In
much
this
for that.
platform, and not to cut you off, but I want to acknowledge the platform. Number one, kudos to you for bringing this platform to life, because it is not about the people who come here and share whatever they're sharing. It is about the fact that you are now opening up a new gateway for people to hear something they've never heard before. So I pray today that someone gets to hear something that they haven't heard before, and it will empower them to do more. But I'll also say that kudos to you for opening this door and bringing out a community of people, because without a community, so let me just put this little nugget out there for you. If you think that you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to live a dream life and you're going to do it all by yourself, okay, no, it's not going to happen. You're going to need people. You're going to need people, and you're going to need a team. So look for really good team members. And you're going to need a community. Listen,
Mm,
the old adage goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a community to support a business. Okay,
mm,
change the adage. It takes a community to support a business. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're looking for a little golden nugget of information on how to help your business, the best thing you can do when you start out is go find someone who is doing what you're doing and ask them how you can help them. Let me say it again. Go find
woo,
someone who is doing what you want to do. If they're living your dream life, knock on their door and say, you are living my dream life. How can I help you? Because the information you're going to just get on a coffee moment or on a ride to the store or when they're asking you to go help them with something, those nuggets of information you're going to get is so hard to get in a traditional sense. But by you being there to help them achieve their goal, they're going to help you achieve your goal. And that is what coming together is all about. That's what building a team is all about. And that's what being part of a community is all about. And let me tell you, I'm very thankful to be part of the Mosaic Sparks community. I really am, because these women are powerful. And I really believe in being around people who are more empowered, smarter, brighter, faster, quicker, all those adjectives more than you, because then it makes you strive to be even greater and better. Agree?
oh, love it. Love it. Love it. And Charlene, thank you for joining us. She says she loves this and do it for humanity. Thank you for being here, Charlene.
My girl, I love
Absolutely.
you some Charlene.
Oh my goodness, Charlene is incredible. Um, it takes a community to support a business. What a quote that is, right? And that just all that is saying is that we have to do it together. So that was just some great nuggets that you shared right there. Some talking about my drop, right?
Right.
Um, let's go into what is your business? What is Digital Download Hub? Explain to the people now
Okay.
what it is.
All right, so let me get into because I love sharing a lot of stuff, but I'll talk about me. So, Digital Download Hub came about because I've been in human resources, business coaching 20, 25 years, and then COVID hit, and I was still coaching. And I over the years, I'd struggled with finding if you're an HR person, you're an HR manager, you're a trainer, you're doing training, you're doing development, you will find that it's very difficult to find tools that you need to use to be able to explain things, explain the videos, training videos, or if you are looking for things that you just want to know how to do something, but you want to know it concisely. You don't need it in little bits and pieces. It's very difficult to find those things. So I started writing guides, started doing checklists, journals, planners. And after a while, I had a plethora of material that I said, you know what? This is now, the world is now in a place where we don't see something that if I give you a shell of something or an outline of something or something already pre-written, we don't see that as copying. That if there was a time and period when the world saw that as copying, and we're not in that place anymore. We have AI that'll write everything. That's all copied material. So everything you get from AI is all copied material. Just note to self, people. Okay, so it's not original material. And so if you think it is, it isn't. So please always do your double checks on that stuff. So what we do at Digital Download Hub is we collect, we create, and we provide digital assets, journals, planners, ebooks, checklists, workbooks, coloring books, you name it, where we have already given you quality product for you to then take, either A, brand it and use it because it's really well written, it's checked, it's validated, it's verified, or B, you can use it as a shell to then take it and go from there. So I'll use an example of we're here live on YouTube, and we have a YouTube guide, how to start a YouTube channel. That came out of when I tried to start Chit Chat with Sharice, which is still on YouTube. You can still go get some of those the episodes if you want to. I really found it hard to figure out all the little pieces, how to get the channel up, how to get the backdrops, how to make the little thumbnails, how to then get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can get monetized. I had a page that was monetized. It got shut down by Google and I couldn't get it back. So I had to start over. How do you go through these things? How do you work the algorithms? So I started as I went through this journey, it becomes documented and then we turn it into a guide. We either sometimes we give them away, sometimes we sell them for a very low cost, 5, 7, $10. And sometimes we put together things like affirmation packs that you can then use in your business. And then we do lots of lives and trainings and webinars on how to use these materials to then scale in your business, right? And I think, Leslie, you've been a contributor to us and gotten some of the products. What do you think?
Oh my goodness, my I use a few different products in my business, and I just think it's absolutely amazing where you can go out and, like you said, a framework, a shell, or whatever, and now just customize it to what you want. And so that takes me into the word PLR,
Ah,
because
yes,
a lot of people see, there's actually a company called PLR.
yes.
A lot of
There's
people really
lots of them because it's just a name and people use it
right, right. A
like
lot of
shoe.
people don't really understand what PLR means. So just let me acknowledge some of our guests. Good morning, Dr. T. Welcome and thank you for being here. And we also have On Stage Plus. He
One.
says that DDH is our go-to source for all of our digital marketing solutions. What now that's an endorsement right there, right? So
Yes,
thank you for that. So yeah, so share with people, because that's what we're going to do is, as you said earlier, for people to hear something they've never heard.
yes,
So people may see PLR, may read it, and think they understand, maybe don't fully understand. Let's
right.
dive deep and massage that a little bit for the people.
Okay, so let me break it down. PLR stands for private label rights. So, and I'll make it really simple and plain for people because it's something that we see every day that we may not think of, right? So, private label rights is not new. It's been around since, I don't know, People have been producing things. However, over the last maybe 10 years or so, it became more and more prominent. And then I think with the advent since COVID hit, it became even more elevated, right? So private label rights means that I produce a product and I will provide you the rights to that product. You can then put your name on it and then you can sell it and say it's yours, although I produced it. Now, I will give you the most famous private label rights product is the Donald Trump Towers, right? Donald Trump puts his name on products, but those are products he doesn't create. So his buildings and hotels, we all know, are licensed by him, but they're not built or owned by him. Sometimes they're not built, but maybe they're built but not owned, right? So those are private label rights. Let me give you another very, very simple one. Is if you go into Walmart, everyone knows the Walmart brand. Or for us here on the West Coast, we have Safeway or Save Mart, and you can go into your stores and they'll have their own brand of products, milk, cookies. Those products are not produced by Walmart or Safeway or Kroger or Winn-Dixie, but they have their own line, right? Target has 36 private label brands. Is that that's mind blowing right there, right? Which means that they have a brand of an item and they get those products from whoever manufactures them. They relabel that product with their name and then they sell it to you less money, more money, however the model of that brand works. And you buy it thinking, okay, this is Target's brand or this is the name brand. So Nabisco may make cookies for your store, and they may make them for lots of stores. They make them for all the grocery stores around, but then they also sell them under Nabisco. They'll sell them under Nabisco, and then they'll sell them under whatever name brand your store is. They've produced that brand for another company with your brand on it, and then it's resold. So in like I said, there was a time when some people might have felt like, oh, I'm that's copying. It's not copying because you're actually paying them for the product. You're paying them to put your brand on it, and then you're reselling it under your name, your brand. So it may look different. Sometimes they tweak the recipes a little bit depending upon how big you get. You can actually get them to manufacture you a specific recipe and then brand it that way, but they'll still do the production of it. So that is private label rights in a nutshell.
Mm, so interesting. But let me just acknowledge one of our guests that joined us. Good morning, Stephanie. She says very interesting, right? And the goal is for people that maybe have never thought about private label rights to now think about that for their business.
Right.
I wrote down that Target has 36
Six.
private label rights, like
That's
36.
and it's
How many?
imagine some of us don't have any. So if you are not like, let me give a I hope this was one of those things that like people's ears perk up and they listen, right?
Yeah.
If you are a coach, a consultant, course creator, and you're out there trying to grind, do your own stuff, listen, jump on our website. We have a plethora of products. Get on there. If we don't have something you don't, if we do not have something you don't see, DM me, email me, because I'll create it. If I don't already, just pull it out of the bag because we already have it, just not have it up. Go on there, download those products, save yourself hours and hours of time, and then just rebrand it and then blow up from there. It is the fastest way to scale. And it is why if you go into a store today and they don't have a private label brand, it doesn't exist. Everyone has them because it is the fastest way to scale. And it's the fastest way to get a product to the market, right? If you want
Mm,
to write a book, download an ebook, add your flair to that book, and boom, you're in the market, right? If you want to do a journal, but you don't know where to start, you don't even know what prompts to put into chat, download the journal. It's going to have a lot of stuff in there for you. It's going to show you how to create the journal, what to add, what not to add. It's the quickest way to get products to market, and it's the quickest way to scale, which is why all big brands and companies are doing it. Then there's some other products in there like checklist. My favorite is the onboarding checklist. If you're a coach, consultant, teacher, trainer, and you have to bring people into your business, download our free checklist, free onboarding workbook, because it has everything in there. I find that a lot of times people will not know what to do or where to start. How do I work with you? When do I call you? How do I pay you? How do I expect to receive products from you? When should you be contacting me? What are, just all these little nuances, but that work because every question that your client needs to answer, and it saves you hours of time having to put it all together. Download, and it's free. It's free. Go get it. Go get it. Go use it.
What I also like is fastest to get to market. And sometimes as visionaries, women, and I only work with women, so I really don't know about men, but as visionaries, we sometimes can get very attached to the thing. And what I picked up that you said is um, it is faster for you to get the information out there, right? Because a lot of times, and like I said, I use some of your products. One of the ones that I use all the time is the onboard, and I use that all the time. Every client gets that, right? Um,
Yes.
but what it is that if there's a certain area of genius that you have, you're an entrepreneur, you have this business. In any business has several departments. And so your onboarded, which is your HR department, right?
Yes.
If you've been thinking about how to do this guide or how to do this thing, you are wasting hours coming up with these things. Yeah, you have an idea of what you want, but if somebody's already done it and now, ooh, based on that, that sparks
Yes.
something in you,
Yes.
that can now help you. And the other thing that I would like for our viewers to really get attached to is don't so much get attached to, not that it has to be your idea, because it still is your idea.
Yeah.
But what the PLR products do is spark something for you, because
Yeah.
your mind may be 5 years from now how this business is going to scale, but having these products can help you get the thing out there faster because you got these clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And I think also
a
too,
way to do that.
yes. And I think a piece of it is, so let's just say I'll use something like the workbook. I created the workbook, the onboarding workbook, because I've been coaching 25 years, right? And I would get the same questions asked to me over and over again, or they would call me at the wrong times, or they wouldn't know how to provide materials back to me, and I was like, and I'd find myself, anytime you have to keep doing something over and over again, you're like, okay, I just need a workbook so that I can give it to you. So that came out of years of working with clients and knowing how to give them what they needed so they can go do their work and I can do my work and then they can bring me back what I needed, right? Instead of me having to answer questions all day, getting on the phone and explaining it to you, it was easy for me to create a very thorough workbook. And then it isn't just my workbook, it became your workbook when you used it, branded it, because I assure you, yours doesn't look anything like mine today. If we were able to put mine up and yours up, it would probably look so different because it gave you a guide to help you put additional things in it that you would say, oh, you know what, I didn't think about this. And with this, I want to add this piece. So sometimes the products that we provide also will help guide you through that process too. So if you want to create a journal, let's use that as an example. It isn't just going to be a journal and here are all the prompts and put your picture here. It's going to say, here, put your bio here. Here's where you're going to ask yourself these questions. Here's where you're going to want to input this information. Here's where you're going to need to do this. So it's also not just a blanket journal, but it's also a guide for you to then use it and add your own personality, spin, brand, voice to it, and then take it to market. Because you've not had to do all that thinking. It's really kind of what it does. It helps guide you as well as make the process faster for you. So I hope that helps.
Get it out there better, faster, because there's so much more that you need to do. Here's a question for you. How do you decide? Well, I think you may have kind of answered that. In terms of it was because you kept on getting those questions. So for any of the entrepreneurs that are watching, start documenting the questions that your clients are asking you. Because one, it may not have been something you thought of. And then now look and see how could you maybe go out to digital download and find something that's a shell framework or something that you can use to now plop some of that in. And that's really speaking, what Sharice was able to talk about is really the customization of it, right?
Yes.
So let's go to challenges. What have been some of the most significant challenges you face, and how did you overcome that?
So I will say, as someone who is closer to retirement age than someone who's getting out of college age, the technology is always a challenge. It is moving. It moves so fast. Technology moves so fast. It's really almost hard to keep up with it. I remember when we were just like bragging that I love computers. I use computers. Now they're on our phones. Watch, like this little thing is a mini computer almost. So keeping up with the technology is really tough, right? And trying to stay ahead of it, trying to use it in your business where it's effective and efficient is very difficult because there's so many tools out there. Which ones do I use? Which ones work for me? Which ones don't? So really staying abreast of technology, but it's very, very important. If you are a person who says, I don't like social media, I don't get on Facebook, I don't really ever know how your business is going to make it in the going forward in 2035 where you will be, because that is the backbone of a lot of businesses now. No matter who you are, you have to have a social media page, you have to have something on social media, and it is not something that we no longer see as a social platform. It is now business social platform. So you don't have to be on there with showing people what you eat every day, or you coming out to shower or whatever. Combing your hair and do your makeup, unless you're in the combing hair and makeup business. It is really a place where you put your business and you put information and you give information and you use it as a tool. We have a group that is free. It's called the Digital Biz Builders Group. You can go in there 2 times a week. We are dropping live trainings about business, about what to do, how to use products. We talk about everything in that group. We bring on people like Leslie to come in and talk about, to get her up in there and get her in there and talk about what she's doing, how she's doing it. So we join groups, you join clubs, you join associations. In the old world today, you do those all online now, right? So technology is a real big piece of it, and learning when to use it and when to just and when to change and pivot from the type that you're using, right? Like if you are using a particular platform, you may have to pivot and use two or three platforms, or maybe you can pivot and use one platform. But keeping up with technology is very difficult. It's very difficult, and I'm sure
Hmm.
you can say amen to that.
I love it, and you've coined a new phrase: business social platform.
Yes.
I love that, right? And for the last, I want to say, just after COVID started, because a lot of businesses started during COVID. I said that if you don't have a business, don't be on these social platforms, because, like you said, everybody want to know you just got out the shower and all of that, right? It is about business, and I see how my kids work, because I have two generations. I have one that's 30 and one that's 21. So that's two different generations. And you see how they both function differently, right? Where one will go straight to Instagram to check out the business and then go to their website. So website is not first, it's Instagram and then
Yeah.
website. And then the other one will go to TikTok first and then go to
Or
um,
Snapchat, right?
right.
You might be right at the, maybe you're too old for Snapchat, right? So it's that you got that. You got Facebook is for us. We go straight to Facebook. Instagram, my daughter. If you're not on Instagram, she'll know who you are. You don't exist. You're not a
Exactly.
thing. Like they're not
Yep.
a thing because they're not on Instagram. My
Right.
husband, he only uses Instagram. We
Oh,
went to go furniture shopping, and he was like, "Oh, we want to go to this place because they were on my Instagram." Like they're around the corner. How they on your Instagram? So I was like, "Okay,
wow.
I got to really." So my Instagram game, I've got to really elevate my Instagram game, because we went about furniture because of the leads that he got off of Instagram. So uh,
Wow.
yeah, and then we dropped quite a bit of money on some furniture that we got off a lead off Instagram. So really upgrade. And again, it's not about if that's your thing, showing your food and all that stuff, if that's the business model that you have, then do that. But that's not business is on Instagram and you're using it just like we did. To me, Instagram is the old version of flyers, posters, business cards. I said I used to use business cards. Who does anybody have business card anymore? Right?
Uh,
We even pass those out. Now you say, what's your Instagram page? What's your Facebook page? We walk around the room and you asking people, and they pull you up and they like you, they follow you, and then they move on to they're like, do we have business cards anymore? It's not a thing anymore, right? So that is the new business model. That's the new way you change information, business wise, is through those social platforms, right? It's the way we do it.
I
Crazy.
want to share some of our comments. On Sage Plus says that your experience as a business strategist goes into each product. That's the difference between Digital Download Hub and others,
Yeah.
which is a great. Thank you so much for that comment. And Dr. Watts says it seems so hard to get support online when you post about your business ventures. Are you able to share anything on that,
Yeah,
Sharice?
well, first of all, Dr. Watts, I'd say go on Facebook, follow me, go into the group, get into Digital Business Group, and trust me, you could drop that question. You could DM me. Listen, I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore because it's just not part of the business model of where I'm going in the future. But I am here to help people. So if you maybe it's the way in which you're communicating the business ventures. Sometimes people can. We did a please go into our group. And I'm gonna drop the link into the group into the comments down here later so people can go back and watch it. But we did an entire live stream about how to sell without being salesy, sleazy, or icky. And it was really all about how to connect emotionally with people and how to put your offer or your business venture in front of people where they're coming to you to ask you about it versus you having to chase behind them, because that is really the key in business. And if you need to get a way to do it where people can then say, hey, calling you to ask you more about what it is that you're offering, what is it you're working on, versus you having to chase them. So drop a DM to me if you want to talk more. I'm here for you, girl. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, that's golden right there. How to get people to come to you instead of you chasing them, right? That's golden. Thank you for sharing that. Stephanie, as yes, I still use business cards, yes, but with a flair to make you stand out, especially at networking events. And Stephanie is a what is she a Y? Is that a Y? I think Stephanie's under 35, I want to say.
Okay.
So
And
that's
no offense to those who use business cards. I'm just making the point to say that as the generations get younger, right, we move away from what I don't, people probably still use flyers. I do. I did a craft fair from my up here from my city and I passed out flyers. So we still do use those things, but I'm saying as we move forward, as technology kind of takes over, we want to adapt to that, right? So now you have lots of platforms where you can do online business cards. There's apps for it now. So we just want to stay abreast of technology and making sure that we incorporate that into our business models, right?
so as you talked about technology, that technology is so fast moving, and my dad is 80, 85, and when I heard my dad talk about Chat GPT, I was like, what? My dad is like one of the original tech guys because we lived in Sunnyvale, California.
Oh,
He was in the military. So, once you mention Sunnyvale, you know kind of the background. He worked in the Blue Box. Is it the Blue Box? Is it Blue Box? He worked in that. That was in California, which was a cube.
mhm.
No, the Blue Cube.
Cube,
He,
the blue
he worked
cube.
in a cube. So he is someone that technology is part of his fiber, right? So even at 80 something, he still dives into it. And what's interesting is that same as what you said about technology moving so fast. And I think that's something that can get people stuck because what you may have known 6 months ago, oh, that changes, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't realize that it's changing so quickly, you think that you, I'm tech averse. I don't want to learn anything about technology. I'm afraid of technology and all these other things that we hear. But the only reason why that is because it moves so fast,
Yes.
right? And so I think once we can understand that the speed and the level that it's moving, you just have to find a way to keep up. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, do you have any role models in the tech industry, and what have been some lessons you've learned from them on managing PLR or digital products? As you said earlier when we started, find a mentor or someone that's doing what you're doing.
Or, and if you can't, then, get as close as you can to it, because that's the key, right? Sometimes some businesses don't always have a competitor. I believe in competitors. I love competition because it makes you advance. But I will say I come from the old school of business and business strategy. So really my mentors are people like John Maxwell, who really talk about leadership and development, because the technology is a tool. The people is really who we should focus on. And that is really the developing good leaders, developing people with humanity in their hearts, because that's how you build communities. And again, I'm coming from, I work with a lot of nonprofits, and nonprofits are community based organizations, and they're working in the community and they're helping people. And then they use these tools, technology, AI, and advancements to help further humanity. So I'm a big John Maxwell person still. I'm a Steve Jobs Apple kind of girl, right? iPhone, Apple, Mac, and my whole house is all Mac. I got 2 iPads. I'm a Apple technology kind of person. Um, I'm like your dad. I love technology. I'll probably be like him at 85 and still abreast of the latest thing. I recently just showed my husband Perplexity. I know we all use Chat GPT, and that's a great one, but I showed him one called Perplexity that I use a lot. I really like Perplexity. He has now no longer Google searches. Him and Perplexity are like, they're like a thing now. If he has a question, he's asking Perplexity. I'm like, do you even use Google anymore? So he's really, really gotten into the technology. And it is really allowed him to advance his thinking on a lot of things. And I love Perplexity because it tells you where they got the information from. Whereas in chat, it doesn't really tell you where it comes from. You just kind of get an accumulation of information. But Perplexity will tell you, hey, this is an accumulation of information, but here's all the places that I got it from. That way, if you have to write something or do something, you can go back to the source, right? And you can double check it. So I really love it for that. So if you haven't, if you didn't get that, it's Perplexity. Google it, write it down. It's really a good one to use. But I think that making sure that you keep technology in some shape, fashion, or form as part of your business model is probably more important than you actually using the technology, because you may have others who you bring into your business as time passes and generations are younger. You will be hiring and bringing in interns and team members who are younger, who will be, they'll grow up with it. So they'll have it and they'll know it. You may not be so well known on it, but if it's not part of your business model, then I think that's a misstep, right? I think keeping it as part of your business model is really important.
Ooh, so many nuggets. Technology is a tool. It is about the people. And as you talked about um, the technology side and bringing in different people in your model, I follow Iana Van Zandt. And when I saw that she's doing these Instagram lives, I think if I'm not mistaken, she's in her late 60s or almost 70, Oprah 70.
Yeah, well,
But
I
she
can't
may be in
believe
her,
it. Can you believe that Oprah 70?
right? Oprah 70. And I think Iana is probably like on the closer to 70 side. But what I love when I'm watching her is that she does these Instagram lives constantly, and because I understand team and I understand different generations and so forth. She didn't grow up with Instagram, right? But
Right,
here she's
right.
doing these lives all the time, and I'm saying, wow,
Mhm.
she must have such a incredible team. Not only incredible team, let's now talk about, we're going to shift a little bit, right? And we're going to talk about when you have team building community and all of that, how important it is for everyone to align with the vision, right? So as a visionary, Oprah, for example, Oprah 70. Oprah did an AI special on ABC maybe two weeks ago because I follow
Yeah.
Oprah. I've been following her for years.
Yes.
Over 2 weeks ago on ABC, Oprah at 70, talking about AI, interviewing all these guys about AI, and they showing her all
Yes.
these different things. That is her team aligning her business model to the mission and the vision. So let's talk. And before we go into that, let me just drop some comments up here. Stephanie says, "Yeah, for sure,
Sure.
being able to pivot. That's so important, right? Let's not get stuck." And great point. As I'm talking about Ayanna Van Zandt doing these Instagram live. If ain't nobody ever caught Miss Van Zandt doing her Instagram, please do. I mean, not only that, like one of them that I saw her do was for her birthday. And she dropped something and she said, drop this in the chat because she's discounting whatever it is that she was selling for her birthday. Like that's an
Right.
amazing strategy, right?
Right.
Um Charlene put in here so many great nuggets. Charlene, thank you for being here with us. So as we are, you're always going to be the visionary, you're always going to be the
Yeah.
founder, the leader, the whatever, but it is so important to have people that align with that
Yeah.
business, right? And then I'm going to have you share, and I have one more. When I started my daycare, as a brick and mortar, and I remember talking to someone that was helping me do my business plan, and it still rings in my head now. And God, I haven't had a daycare in probably about 15, 16 years. He said, Leslie, you have to be sure that you find people that love your business as much as you.
Yeah.
And long story short, I ended up having to close the daycare because of that. So share from your area of expertise how important that is as we're building team, we're building community. And you mentioned you are an Apple person. That's that loyalty that comes into that business, right? And
Oh,
so these are the things that for maybe new entrepreneurs, or if you've been in business for a long time, these are some things that you don't
yeah.
really think about, but it's so
So
important. So
important.
let's talk about that.
Okay, so brand loyalty. Let's talk about brand loyalty first, and then we'll come back to the team. I ain't gonna forget. Brand loyalty is so important, right? How do you build brand loyalty? It's not, it doesn't come overnight. And let me be clear, brand loyalty is not built because you put your brand in front of people all the time. Steve Jobs did not build Apple brand loyalty because he put an apple on something. That brand loyalty came because the product solved a problem. When your product solves a problem for people, that is where you're going to find them coming back to you. And the problem can be anything, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be, well, I'll use a simple one like a bank. A bank solves your problem because you have to have a place to put your money. That's the problem. And that's the problem they solve. And now you like to make some money on your money. So they add some other products that they offer. You are loyal to a particular bank because the way they service you when they're solving your problem. And that's how brand loyalty is built in a simple one sentence way to say it, right? It's a bigger, complex, deeper analogy of how to do it, but that's the most simplest way to do it. So, really, when you think about everything, it's the same thing. When people come into your company, you want to make sure that you have the right people in the right seat. And that came from a book that I read a long time ago. It talked about how businesses are a bus. And if you have the people in the wrong, you can have the right person, but you can have them in the wrong seat. And that also, too, I'm going to go back to how Leslie just said Oprah is now talking about AI. Well, she had some younger people probably bring her an idea. And because she allowed them to open up and bring ideas to her, and she's open to them, is how she's then saying, hey, let me see how to use it. And now, how can I bring this to the world? Right. And that is having people in a place in your business who believes in your vision, but also is allowed to share in that vision and then also to help you move that vision forward. It doesn't have to always be you to move your business forward. That too will allow people to come into your business, give you feedback, and you move it forward. And that's how they stay loyal to your brand. They're kind of tied together a little bit, right? So you can have people coming in who will help move your vision forward. You will have customers coming in who will help move your vision forward. And this is how you create the brand loyalty. And this is how you create a teams that will help you create brand loyalty, right? If that makes any sense.
Oh, that was amazing. Because that is so important, as I shared earlier that, and I love what you said. Steve Jobs didn't build brand loyalty by just having it in front of everybody's face all the time. And let me even go back, and maybe you remember, but as I mentioned, my dad was in tech. We were in Sunnyvale. I remember, I want to say, in the I was a teenager. So in the late mid 80s, my dad didn't want to have nothing to do with Apple
Right.
because all the tech guys, they were not doing nothing Apple.
No,
We had all kinds of computers in our house, and not one of them was
what
Apple.
happened? Everybody was
And
IBM and then
right,
Microsoft. Come on.
nobody was doing no
I know.
Apple, right? And so for me and my family, I don't even want to tell you how many pads and stuff we got going on around here.
Right.
So and so for me to even be part of, we not touching Apple because the software couldn't convert and all this other craziness that was going on, right? And to get to a place now that, shoot, I don't even think about not having an iPhone or not having an i something.
Right. Right. Right.
Right.
The word we used to say iPad. Like you don't even say tablet anymore because they're tablets, Google tablets, You don't call them. You say, "Do you have an iPad?" You don't say, "Do you have a tablet?" You say, "Do you have an iPad?" Right? We don't
Right.
say it anymore. And because they built it into the fabric of how we operate every day is how you get the brand loyalty. You may not even think you are loyal to that brand. You may have a Samsung phone and an iPad. You're not thinking that you're loyal to that brand because of the way the brand operates. And they've kind of become incorporated into the fabric. I don't think people think about when they go into Target and they're going to buy Target specific brand. They become loyal to that brand because the way it felt, the way it worked, maybe it was the zero missing items out of it, no chemicals, no whatever. And they're looking for that. It solved what they wanted. And that's how they become loyal to a brand. So, first thing is that we solve people's problems. That's what businesses do, right? Business is built on solving a problem. So, when you solve a person's problem and then you do it well, you follow up, you constantly contact them, you be consistent,
Mm.
and then you're in front of them. Apple got in front of, they said, you know what? Businesses don't want us. We'll go to schools. And you know what we'll do? We'll go to schools because schools are kids who become the next generation. That next generation then will be using nothing but apples. It's a strategy. It's a strategy, right? And once you become incorporated into the fabric, I am such a eco-friendly kind of girl, right? I'm from California and I'm green. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm green. I could just be green. I recycle. I have an electric car. If I could have nothing plugged in ever, that's exactly the way it would be. I'm a huge believer in solar panels, right? And I'm sure your father coming out of Silicon Valley is probably exactly like that, all about the go green. When you think about it, this is the way the world is going to go forward. How are you going to incorporate these technologies, going green, being environmental friendly? Um, you could say, climate change is a hoax if you want to. That could be your personal philosophy, but you need to be asking, how is my business going to incorporate climate change? Even though that may not be your personal philosophy, but you should be thinking about it in your business because the next generation is all about focused on climate change. They're looking at the world blow up, storms, tornadoes, hurricanes happening all over the place, and they're involved in climate change. So you want to know, how's my business going to be involved in climate change? Here at Digital Download Hub, we are very eco-friendly because you download products. You don't necessarily need to print them. You can print them and then sell them in that format, but you can also sell just as many digitally as you can in the physical context, right? So you want to make sure you put these things in front of your business and incorporate them into your business model,
Mm.
right?
Two things you're gonna have. I'm gonna have to come back to what you just said about digital download. But yeah, my father is extremely green, and until when you said it, I never really thought about it. Right. So when we lived in Africa, because he was in the military, when we lived in Africa, we had a hydroponic garden.
I have one.
He
I built my own. I built my
he
own
built his own too.
with some tubing from Home Depot and some buckets. I got a hydroponic garden. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh gosh, and he, as you, he's lived all over the world. He was in Belize over the last 10 years and got solar panels shipped to Belize so
Yeah.
that he can. Yeah, so absolutely, yeah. I never. It's funny because there's some words you don't really attach, but yeah, he's very green and very eco friendly. So yes,
And it's the
so
thing that we should be thinking about. How are you incorporating that into your business? Right?
yes,
When we had a brick and mortar store, or when I did nonprofit consulting for 10 years for a really large church. I had them come in and we brought in the city and we said, how can we make this building go green? Every week we're printing out, brochures and flyers and the pamphlets every Sunday, right? And what do we do when we throw them in the trash? No, we gotta recycle this. How are we recycling all this food that's coming out of the cafe? We had a cafe. How are we recycling all this food that's, these cans and bottles and recycling them? And they actually got a green an assignment. There's your business can become green and can be certified as green. So we went through that process where they showed us how to recycle, brought in special cans, where we put all these things together, and then they got that green certification, which then allowed them for grants in that green space, right? So you really want to think about how can I incorporate going green, which is again another piece of the technology, right? As we're moving forward, how can I incorporate these new things that are coming up into my business model? Because it also will set you apart from competition, right? A lot of companies will tout that they are green certified, which again is kind of that branding thing, right? If your brand says, "Hey, we're green certified," then you're going to get a certain individuals who are going to look for you and want to seek you out because they want to work with people who are green, companies that are green, right? So you want to definitely consider that, right?
that's great. That's a great nugget there. And as we're talking about digital products, and you even bringing up about being green, because that's a nugget that you spark for me. um how does one, as we title it, how to build a digital product empire, how does one do that? How does one, and this may be some questions that some of our viewers may have. How does one move into a space like this that before today I didn't even really think about it?
Right?
Now I'm going into this space. How can this be part of my business model for additional revenue? Because at the end of the day, let's just say this, right? Even nonprofits, and I say this all the time, even people make mistakes that nonprofits don't make money, right? Everybody makes money. The
Yes.
nonprofit is just an IRS tax code.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
That's
Thank
all
you.
it is. People get
Yes.
confused. They get confused.
Nonprofits are for profits with non-taxable product.
That's all it
Period.
is. That's all it is. It doesn't mean you don't make money. Like this, I can't imagine the CEO of Salvation Army. At one time, I looked. It was like some, yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
Red Cross. I think she makes like $5 million a year or something. I don't know how you pay her $5 million a year, whatever number. You can Google it. I don't know. It might be 20 million today. I don't know how you pay those people. Red Cross, we all know it's a nonprofit organization. UNICEF. You can go on and on and on. You can't pay those people big money if you ain't making some money. So
right. So it is just a tax code. So in terms of that, how does one go from, oh my goodness, I just learned about this today, move them. I want this to be a part of my business model so that I can solve a need for in my industry, so that even when I'm asleep, people that follow me or my customers around the world can be able to download. And at the same time, I am really being eco-friendly to my environment.
yeah.
I know that was a lot, but
No,
as
no,
we're
I'm gonna,
talking, stuff
I'm
is
gonna bring it
coming up.
all. I'm gonna bring it all together for you because it was not a lot. Actually, it's really easily. So let me say first, when I was coaching consultant, that's a one-on-one thing. You had to go out and get clients. You had to work with them face to face. It becomes a lot of work. I decided, you know what, I'm going to retire. I'm good. I made this amount of money. I'm okay with it. But then I still wanted to help people and still move people forward in their businesses. So I started selling the what I give away free now, which is a workbook, the onboarding kit to younger coaches. Then I realized I'm making more money selling that workbook than I was doing one-on-one coaching. So you could then see yourself moving away from actually doing something you did physically before to maybe creating products and services that now are online that you can then stream. You can create a course. You can film all your lectures, all your trainings, and then you can upload them and people can buy them. I once followed a guy who only has one arm on Udemy. He was very affected because he had lost his arm. He started doing courses on Udemy and selling them for $10. He has made millions from selling a $10 course on Udemy. And there's so many places like that. You can come to my website, download a course outline, show you how to film your course. Then you can sell it on Skillshare, Udemy, a lot of million places. And if you want to get started, I have a very well written free guide. Go to digitaldownloadhub.com, go to the freebie section and download how to make money selling digital products online. It takes you from everything from starting the product, from creating an idea, where to sell them, how to create it. And then that will also then show you how to market it on Instagram, Facebook, social media, and how to scale it in your business. Because you could be doing two things at once. You could be you could have a product that you create and manufacture. You could be selling a product that you get from somewhere else. Maybe you sell a physical product. You can then turn that into how to's, how do's, how helps, and all these other things. There's so many things you can do that also will give your additional revenue streams for your business. Charlene likes to always say to invoke your thinking. We hope that going to Digital Download Hub, our website, will invoke your thinking on the so many ways that you can put digital products in your business because they're virtual. You can change them on a fly. You can sell them, you can resell them, you can give them away to people. You can use them as lead magnets to get people to come in. We have promo kits for you to use during the Christmas season and Black Fridays because it's very hard to figure out how to create those ads, right? You go there, you download our promo kits, you create your ads, you put them on Facebook, you run your ads, boom, you're done. We're there. It's about saving time, helping you scale, and helping you invoke your thinking about new ways to create new products and new things to sell in your business. So I hope that brought that together for you, Leslie.
That was juicy. Absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely juicy. Just want to say we have someone that joined us. Hello, Candy. Thank you for joining us this morning. Glad that you are here. Yeah, that was absolutely
I didn't get to even tell you about all the new stuff I'm doing. That's all the
and
current
we
stuff
we
I'm
we
doing.
we we gonna get to that because that's gonna be the juicy part, right? That's gonna even juicier. But for for women that have wear multiple hats, and one of the main reasons why I wanted you to talk about it of how seamlessly to build your digital empire can be is so that women can kind of put that on automatic, right? And
Yeah.
you have an additional income stream. So I'm going to flow into that work life harmony. Like how do you manage that work life harmony in your business? And as we talked about, tech being so fast paced and so forth. So if you want to share, how do you manage that type of harmony?
So I think the first thing that I've learned over the decades of years is to create some structures, right? So when I worked from home as a social worker, CPS worker, working for the county, working from home, I had to create some structure so that people could understand that because I'm at home did not mean that I was sitting in the kitchen, in the living room, and watching TV. But I watch very little TV, very little, very, very little TV. Um, and what I do watch is not TV shows. I watch Discovery Channel, Curiosity Stream. But I had to create a permission structure for people to know when they can call me because I was working or when I was off. And when my kids were home from school or school breaks, we used to have this rule like if the laptop is open, that meant mommy was working. So that means you couldn't run in here asking me about could I get some cookies or ice cream or whatever you was doing. Could I change the channel? If you saw the laptop open, no, don't come in here bothering me. And then when I put the laptop down, take certain breaks. So create a structure for yourself when you work, when you don't. Even if you're a mompreneur and you have very young kids, teach them very early about how to, just they just can't run your life and run ragged and you think you can keep up with that. It will not work. Put them into a structure. I come from the military, so I'm about structure. So create a structure for yourself. Give yourself timelines. I'm going to complete this in this time. I'm going to do this by this time. I want to, have this done by this time. And also with the people that you work with, give them timelines. Hey, can you get this back to me by tomorrow? Can I have this by 6 p.m. tonight? If you're working with freelancers, hey, you guys, can you create this product for me and have it done in 3 days? That kind of thing. Give people timelines so you know what you're working with, so you can kind of set up your own flow. And then give yourself permission to just be like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap and I'm going to sleep all day. One of my team members the other day, I was calling, worried, like, where are you? They had slept the whole day. Finally, they woke up and look, I just needed to sleep. And I said, next time, just text me. I'm going to take a nap. And that way I'll know. Take the day off. Take time off for yourself. I do. My kids were younger, we would take 2 vacations a year with the kids and 2 vacations with me and my husband. And then I had my own week. Okay, get my own week. Allow yourself your own breaks so that way you don't get burned out. Because if you hit the brick wall, it's really hard to pull yourself back up and get back into it. You just do not want to hit burnout, but you want to be effective. You want to be successful. I'm super driven. I'm very, very driven. So I know that I could drive people pretty hard. Sometimes I have to tell them, hey, listen, tell me when you need a break. Because just because I can work 40 hours straight does not mean you can do it too. So tell me when you need a break. Hey, I need to go get some lunch. I need to get me some food in me. I need to get some coffee in me. So give yourself a structure, set a structure, get people to know your structure so they can work within it, and then keep to it, and then give yourself permission to take breaks. I think that's a pretty simple way to keep a well-life balance.
I love that. The nugget I picked up on is by telling people how you are, by saying to others, let me know when you need a break. I think that's so important. Many years ago, and it's probably since COVID, I I never told people that I took naps because I was embarrassed, right? Because who really takes naps, right? But I've been doing okay. I've been doing naps probably about 20 years now. And during
Naps.
COVID, I started to I would talk about it like with my clients in the community, whatever. And people know Sundays is like my shutdown day. Sunday,
Mhm.
go to church. After church, I ain't doing nothing. Like don't call me. I'm not doing anything. And I think that, like you said, I can be very driven. I can drive very hard during the times that I need to. And I like the fact that you mentioned just let me know and let me know when you need a break. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm at the point and I'm gonna tell you, Sundays I ain't do nothing. I'm not doing no client nothing on Sundays. Sundays is shutdown time, and it's me. And I love what you said about your week. I love your week. But go ahead.
Because you set a permission structure for people, right? You set a permission. So you said, hey, listen, Sundays I don't work. Well, guess what? Now the whole world now knows, don't call Leslie on Sunday. Unless you call them, hey, girl, did you see to church? Or that was such a good service? Or, you know what, let's go to lunch. But you work, don't call me on Sunday for work. And I have the same permission. If anyone knows me out there, if you're out there in the world and you know me, everyone will tell you what time you cannot call me at night. There's a cutoff time. You can no longer call me. So if you know me, you know that time because I set that. I set that where you cannot do. I shut down. That is now my family time. But I am up 3 a.m. West Coast time. Call me and we can talk about business. And I can start my day. But I shut down at a certain time because that's my time to do something else with other people. So if you set those structures, my kids set the same thing. If you are a mompreneur, if you are a mompreneur, I urge you to set a structure a work structure with you and your kids so that when you are working on your laptop getting work done, give them their crayons, give them their coloring book, give them their homework. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to work now and you're going to work now. So that way you both are working at the same times or whatever, using it as an example. But set a structure so that your kids are not just climbing all over you all while you're trying to work, and it is not going to be healthy or effective for you long term. So set structures.
Absolutely. We have some comments in here.
I
Candy
do.
says she does. Stephanie says this right here. And then Stephanie says that's exactly what I'm teaching my kids. And she says she loves the advice for us mompreneurs. And it is even for your older children, right? Because I have older children as well.
Yeah.
Not young ones, I have older ones. And so whenever I'm doing my lives or whenever I'm doing anything, I let them know ahead of time. And
Yes.
that's code for don't come ask me nothing, don't come bother me. When I'm done, right? Because
Don't
those
send me
things,
1,000 text messages when you know I'm going live because you're gonna
right?
think
Don't
you're popping on my screen,
I,
right?
I don't
And
want
I
all
have
that.
older kids too, and I have a grandson now who's gonna be 1 in December. I can't believe it's
Oh,
gonna be 1. And I told my daughter the other day, "Oh yeah, trust me, he gonna get the same lessons. He gonna learn early. He gonna learn like
mm-hmm.
you learn, because then they grew up under it, and then they
Yes,
learned it." And I said, "Oh,
yes,
don't think he not gonna learn it. He gonna learn it too." Because I will be teaching him the permission, the structure, right? But you just start early, and you don't. My kids never ran around the grocery store; they never fell out and all that. You just, you set that structure early, and kids need structure. Kids need structure. Believe it or
yeah.
not, kids need structure.
And the other thing that I feel it does is, and we have some comments. Candy put yes. We have Air Touring TV. Good jobs, ladies. Thank you so much. And Candy puts even us empty nester needs quiet time too. But the most important thing, because I teach on boundaries a lot, the most
Yeah,
important thing for me is that it teaches boundaries and not just it's not just saying it with your kids, you're teaching your kids how they can have permission to create boundaries in their lives for the other people that's going to be around them, right? So I just look at it as something that it's a learning tool,
yes,
because if you're that way, you're teaching them that way, they're now going to structure that and take that another step further. I'll tell you, my both of my daughters, they have this thing that if today is Saturday and one of their friends, because one of them is still in college, if at 2 o'clock somebody calls and said, let's go hang out at 6, she said, nope, it was not in my plan. I got something else to do. And I admire her because she's the youngest. And
yes,
in college you have this type of pressure. So I
yeah,
admire her so much that she's able to do that, right? If it ain't in the plans and it ain't something we talked about before, no, I'm sorry. I love you, but we ain't gonna
yeah.
do it, right?
And I think it's a training, right? So she trained, she got
Mm,
that training, and then she incorporated it, and it works for her, and so therefore she goes for it. But I think also too, creating those boundaries is not just for friends and family; it's also for your clients. Because I know when
mm,
you are a coach, if you're a consultant and you're working with individuals and people and groups and teams, they think they can call you and oh my God, they have a catastrophe. They're gonna call you. No, 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 no. That catastrophe didn't happen in a vacuum in 1 minute. So it ain't gonna get fixed in this vacuum of 1 minute. This is my particular time. So I'm not doing that. You want me to go out with you at 6 o'clock tonight and you calling me at 2 o'clock? You didn't come up with that idea 3 seconds ago. So when you came up with it is when you should have called me. Hey, I got an idea. I want to go out tonight, right? Because you should have called me then instead of calling me at the last minute. I don't do last minute. So you also set those boundaries, not just for friends and family, but for clients too.
absolutely, absolutely. So as we're getting ready to wind down, tell us, what is it that you are working on? What's new? What's going on in
I am
digital
I am
land?
just I'm so excited. I can't believe it. So we created Digital Download Hub. A good friend of mine, Renetta Hart, and I, she is the world's most trainer, developer, writer extraordinaire. We sat down and we cranked out so many products that we had and we put them together and we started building on them. Um, and then we began to build on onto that product. And then we started seeing that there was a need for people to need more than just one or two or three items. So then we started to work with Charlene and we created the Ready Rebrand model. We're going to be launching soon. We're gonna be doing a webinar and we're gonna be talking about the products and how we're gonna do it. But we're gonna now be launching where if you're a coach, consultant, or a person who needs more than one or two products in your business, or you would like to scale up, where you would like to have additional revenue coming in from digital products in your business so that you're not having to create them all, we're going to be launching Ready Rebrand, which is a fully loaded website with the products and services that you would offer in your niche. Yeah, that is big, right? So you're going to get,
Wow.
I know, right? So if you're in the, I'll just use health and fitness space, right? Maybe you're a health coach or a fitness person or a trainer, and you would like to offer journals, planners, ebooks, workbooks, but you don't have time to just do one at a time. We're now going to give you a fully loaded website with products already written and done. All you have to do is brand them, fully loaded on a website, ready to go. So you'll have the website, you'll have a membership area, so you'll be able to then build a community around that. You'll have landing pages and lead funnels. You're going to get a complete business out of the box, ready to go, where you'll be able to now sell digital products in your niche. Boom, done with the click of a button. That is like, right? We have been working on this product for several months. We've been working with IT techs and back end developers and writing our own. We've been writing products like my fingers should fall off all the typing I'm doing. And we've just been putting it together, and we're going to be launching Ready Rebrand. So stay tuned for that. Not only am I doing that, we are now getting ready to launch the Reese reboot animated TV show. I'm gonna be a cartoon, y'all. I'm about to be a cartoon. This is crazy. This is crazy. So we're gonna launch Reese's reboot is all about coaches, consultants, and what they deal with every day, and then moving into a digital world. So this show will be all about me as a coach, a consultant, entrepreneur, and then moving into the digital space and dealing with social media, dealing with influencers and all these, tech blunders and all the other stuff that there'll be a few sidekicks that come in and what they will bring to the space. Uh, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun doing the recordings and creating the animated character. We just got our animated characters completed the other day, and now we've been playing with them. We've had some training lessons on how to do it. It's man, I have so much going on. On Stage Plus, if you go to onstageplus.com, click on celebrity brands. I am now a new celebrity brand on that platform. So it is going to be amazing. And okay, Leslie, I have one more thing. I'm going to be creating a new tennis shoe, handbag, and purse line based off of the animated show. Boom. Crazy.
Wow. Oh my God. And they don't have hearts and stuff going on here, so I can't do
Right?
all that. This is absolutely
Is that amazing?
incredible. Incredible. Business in a box. I mean, that's what I heard is business in a box, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Because we want you
no
to
one.
scale up. So Leslie, you want to
Yes.
be able to offer a couple products now. You have your workbook, you have a couple things that you use in your business, but you should be able to just you currently have a website first. So for you, we would just plug it into your current site where you'd have digital products as a tab and you'd have a plethora of things that people could go to and get. So when you're in person and you're doing a conference and you're doing a seminar, you're doing a summit, right? And you're like, hey, I have a journal. Maybe you don't want to print 500 journals to drag with you, right? To be able to sell at your summit. So you may have two or three or four that you have at the summit that you bring. But then you say, listen, if you guys, a lot of people now do things digitally. They're on their iPads and want to have an ebook reader. Click the tab, download my journal. You can buy it in person. We can PLR it and send it out to you. We can print on demand and send it out to you. Or you can download it and put it on your ebook and boom. Now you're serving the same person in four ways with that original product. And that is how you add revenue to your business and you scale at the same time. Boom, business in a box. Digital business in a box.
Wow. This is absolutely incredible, Sharice. And I'm glad we heard about it here first.
Yes,
It
because
is,
we've
it
not
is,
launched that at all. So this is where you
wow.
heard it first.
I am like exploding because a lot of, and it's for you, what you are solving is helping coaches, consultants, content makers, whatever, scale up.
Scale up.
That's what you're doing. Because otherwise than that, you would not be thinking of how are ways that I can help them grow faster and
Right.
quicker and to
And these
have this
products you
additional
own
base.
yourself. That's the one thing I
Hmm.
want to make sure of. I'm a huge fan of owning your own things. Have your own website. Yes, there are plenty of places where you can go and click the button and throw products in there and process them, square up, that kind of stuff, right? But that's their site. Own your own website. If you buy products from me, you own them outright. I don't have any recourse to. Once you click the pay button and you paid for it, you now own that product outright. And what you do with it is on you, right? You with it, whatever you want to do with it from there. You can buy it, you can sell it, you can resell it, you can do whatever you want with it once you bought it from me. Own your own products. This is something that the industry of music has learned over and over again because they write a song, but they don't own the song. Own your own products. If you sell a product right now, if you're in the digital space and you're selling other people's products, that's great. If you're making $10,000, $20,000 a month, but as soon as they're gone, you're gone. Own
Hmm.
your own product. So if you're making great money in the digital space right now, you really want to get this fully loaded website where you can then move over, pivot over to own your own products. So own your own website, own your own products, own your own materials, right? But don't be afraid to put them out there, but make sure you have some controls. And these products that we sell to you, the fully loaded digital business in a box is yours. It's your own website. It's your own products. You own them, you tweak them, you change them, you do whatever, but it is a fast way to offer 30, 50 products to your clients that you didn't have to go out and create over, you get it overnight. And now you can begin to create a advertising and marketing structure around selling those products. So, and then remember, digital products are sold all through the Australia, India, all over the world, right? People are buying products all day and all night. I turn off notifications because it becomes overwhelming because then I have to look at text messages and all stuff. But you're constantly getting those sales from who knows where. You wake up in the morning, you got 10 sales from all around the world because you were asleep, but they were woke, right? So this is another way to scale your business using digital products. And that is truly how you build a digital empire. So even though you have a physical business, brick and mortar stores are doing it, right? Physical people with physical products are doing it. It is something that you want to be able to do so that you are creating a monetary structure for yourself, an income stream that you don't have to touch. You touch it once and you're done, right? Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Absolutely. And then we're talking about a TV show. Like,
I
oh my
know. It's
goodness.
so exciting. I'm gonna be
Oh
a
my
TV.
gosh.
Yes.
Cartoon.
It'll be on Roku, Apple TV, or it'll be on every TV has apps, and it'll be in your app store. You'll be able to go to it. You'll be able to download it. You'll be able to watch it on YouTube. I'm gonna have a TV show. It's called Reese's Reboot. It'll be about my life, and really not my life, but more about really women like me and you, or men who have created businesses and all the things that we go through to be fun. It's funny, I have a comedian writer. Shout out to Kiki if you're watching right now. We have a comedy writers. So they're writing the scripts and lines so that it'll be fun and funny and entertaining while it'll be real world scenarios, right? Like how we talked about tech and the tech blunders. And if you guys remember a couple months ago, I had a webinar, and man, I had more tech complications with that webinar, right? I had more tech complications with that webinar than really I was calling the tech people at 20 minutes before the webinar was starting, and I had to buy extra cords to connect my laptops and stuff. Just so many tech blunders, but we're gonna now turn that into a fun comedic show. And I think it'll be very unique because not often do you see shows about business and business people and what they go through, right? So it'll kind of remind me of like The Office, where that was a show about people in the office and what you went through when you worked in the office. So this will be a lot of fun because it'll be about, people who are building businesses and all the things you have to endure and deal with when building a business. So it'll be very interesting. It'll be very different too. You won't really see TV shows like that, and it'll be animated.
And that's the key right there, right? And as we started talking, as we're talking about Oprah and Ayanna Van Zandt, and we're talking about people aligning to the vision. You just
Yes.
shout out your comedic writers. So
Yes.
the alignment to the vision. Wow, we just had like a 360 right here, right? Because
Right.
as we're talking about some things, you were able to demonstrate to us what that alignment looks like, right? Because you have this vision, you have this dream, but now how do you align others? How does others align with you to really blow this up? So
Yes.
in everything that you do, you're really aligning with people's visions, because if
And,
you are
and,
building
and,
a
and
business
also
in a
helping them move forward too, right? Because we're going to be bringing people like you. We're going to have you do a little character on the show, or have you come do some voiceovers. We're going to be bringing people in, just like you're bringing people to this platform. We too want to bring people in and move them forward. The comedic writer, the writers, right? We want to bring people in and help them move forward, just like you're doing on this platform. So I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I want to make
oh
sure we get
no.
that in there. Just like you're doing on this platform, you are bringing people in and then allowing them to move forward. But please.
Mm. All right, let's get to some comments here. We have Air Tour and TV. Good job, ladies. Thank you so much. Um, Air Tour and TV. Today is Grandma Day. No quiet time for Mrs. Reese. Candy wants to know your social media platforms. And
I'm
there's
on
a
all of
link
them:
in the
Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to be on Snapchat next week, so stay tuned for that. But I am now on Threads, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads.
Awesome. Air Torn TV. I'd wish these ladies would do a behind the scenes one day.
Ah,
They really do it all and make it look easy. If only everyone knew. I love that. Thank
very
you.
good answer. That's a good one. One day we're in two different states, but we'd have to figure that out. Maybe we'd have cameras and something. That would be
Yeah,
fun. And that's
that
what the
would be
show is
cool.
going to be about. The animated show is kind of going to take you behind the scenes of what it looks like to build worlds like ours, right? That's what the
Ooh,
show is going to kind of
awesome.
do.
Awesome.
Wow, that's
Dr.
fun.
Watts says, wow, that's hot. So you're getting a lot of congratulations. Candy has the emojis for you. Charlene as well. Stephanie says, that's what's up. Huge congrats. Stephanie, amen. Let's go. Candy, ready over here with all the emojis. Candy, congratulations. Candy, will there be support with buying the
Yes.
product package?
Yes, 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 and yes, because I am a huge fan of support, right? Whether it be in your business, whether it be helping you with advice, but there's no way I'm going to give you something and not support you. Anyone has ever got anything from me, has ever worked with me, they will tell you I absolutely over deliver all the time. Over deliver. Under promise and I over deliver. And we will definitely be setting it up where you will have a full blown support. We're going to be doing a webinar coming up that'll be talking about funnels, lead magnets, and lead generations in your business. So stay tuned for that webinar. But again, you'll be getting those funnels as part of your package. You will get 100% support on how to build them, what to do, where to click, how to fix it. It'll all be built in. We're not going to just sell you something and leave you off on an island.
Mm,
Yes,
great,
support.
great, great. Candy, thank you for that question. Great question. And Stephanie says amazing stuff. And then Candy gives you all the emojis and the hearts
That was
and
so
the fire
sweet.
and
Thank
all of that.
you.
Yes, yes, yes. So as we get ready to wrap up, I love asking legacy questions and with and the shoes. Let's not forget about the shoes because I was just
Shoes.
talking. I was just talking about a sneaker ball the other day. So tell us about the shoes, a little bit about the shoes, and then we'll
So
get
the
in.
shoes are going to be there's like six different type of, I still call them tennis shoes. I don't know what people call them anymore today. It's they are, the Converse type of shoes, whatever. I wanted to create a Converse for one of my products I had done a while ago, and now I'm going to be able to create it and do a complete design around it. So I'm going to be, if you are in that space and you want to be like, oh my God, I'd love to be part of a project like that, DM me, hit me up, because I welcome everyone into my world, right? So you can understand the vision and we talk about it. But we're going to be looking for people to help us design these products so that they are innovative, hit the Gen Z, hit the Gen X, hit the Gen Y categories, and something that we can then take and scale and go forward. So there'll be a tennis shoe line. There is a shoe line. Like, I don't wear 3-inch heels anymore, but I'm sure there's lots of people out there who would love a really awesome 3-inch heel or some other little shorter ones too. And then there'll be purses, handbags, backpacks. They're all 100% Italian leather. I'll be going to Italy in March and meeting up with the manufacturers. 100% Italian leather, all handmade and done and stitched. Really high quality products. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. So just follow me, stay tuned, continue. You'll see me drop little things about what we're doing when we're doing it. But if you want to be in that space, hey, hit me up in the DM and say you want to come and get involved. We're taking all takers. Leslie knows I'm big about building community and I'm about pushing it forward. And legacies are not necessarily about me and my kids and what we do. Legacies are about you making impact on the world, whether a person knew you made an impact or not. I've raised millions to help put shots in arms for kids in foreign countries, in in countries that kids will never know where that money came from to get those shots, but it has saved millions and millions and millions and millions of lives. That is legacy building, because there's somebody out there tomorrow who is now alive and living, who will be able to live their dream, live their vision, live their God-given talents, because we put something in place today that it made it available for them for tomorrow. That is my version of legacy building.
Wow, I absolutely love that. And let's share some we get all kinds of comments. Yes, I definitely need this, and I have a product, but was left on an island. Yeah,
DM
Candy,
me,
she's not gonna leave
DM
you.
me.
She ain't gonna leave
Mhm.
you.
I ain't gonna leave you.
Um, and then Stephanie says, not Snapchat.
I know I
Um,
got to. I got to.
and Candy says she does. So Candy is going to connect with you. And thank you, Leslie, for these. Candy, thank you for being here. So yes, I have created it, but if it wasn't for the audience coming and being able to hear something, hence the word sparks, right? Is to I know that when we have conversations, things get sparked.
Yes.
And just like Sharice wants to help you move faster and quicker, for me, if you get a spark, oh my goodness, I didn't think about that. Now, how can you go and use that? Oh, I didn't think about that. Now in your business or even in your personal life, right? To help you move quicker, faster. And Stephanie says, period. Love it. That's the truth. At Sharice, I remember when I first met you.
Stephanie,
And
I ain't
about
forgot about you either.
awesome, awesome. And yeah, I've been thinking about a sneaker ball and what would be a great way to promote all these sneakers, tennis shoes, whatever you want to call it, than at this ball. Because I love a ball. I love an event. I put an event, Stephanie knows,
I
I put an
love a
event
good
around
party.
anything. I put an event around anything, right? So love it, love it, love it. And so as we get ready to wrap up,
I'm all
if
in
you
on the sneaker ball. I'm all in on the sneaker ball. I gotta look, you just invoked my thinking. I got a million ideas. We're gonna talk. I can see it now. I can have displays of tennis shoes coming down instead of having the champagne thing. It'd be the tennis shoe thing. I got ideas.
Ooh,
You invoked my thinking. You've invoked my thinking.
that's what it is, right? The sparks. That I love it. So as you just mentioned about legacy, and Oprah has a phrase that she says the same thing about legacy. Legacy is not necessarily, um, it is about every person that we touch,
Yes.
right? So it's not
Or
necessarily
not
about your
touch.
biological, or not, as you just demonstrated, right? I have this thing that I believe that each and every one of us, we touch people in a way, and it's this ripple effect that goes throughout the world. And
Yes.
as we know, a ripple has several rings, and with several rings, you're not going to know the people that you touch, right? There's no way you know that. And to me, that's part of legacy that's so important. But as we get ready to wrap up, and I knew that this was going to be a juicy conversation, as we get ready to wrap up, um, as you are on a mountaintop, several feet up in the air, and you're looking down over humanity, what is something that you would like to say, that because of Sharice, although they may not know who you are, but because of Sharice and her moving forward in her vision? Because here's the other thing I want to leave everybody with, and I made a post on Facebook. You can have a vision. We all
Mhm,
have visions of things, but you got to
mhm,
move that thing forward. And
mhm.
sometimes we get stuck in just the vision and not moving it forward. The important thing is moving it forward. So, as you are on this mountaintop and you're looking over humanity because of the incredible things that you've done, what is a feeling, a word, a sentence that you would say to Sharice, of knowing that you move forward the vision that you had?
Wow, that's that's hard. So I think that I was, if I was looking down at the end, right, and I would say, and whoever was to my left or whoever was to my right, I would say, look at that. Look at all those people doing what they want to do, and they're all doing different things. I taught my kids, if you like something, do it. And then if you don't like it, stop doing it and do something different. I don't care if you do something 20 times, but try everything. So if I
Hmm.
was looking down and I've worked in many industries, right? I've helped start food banks. I've helped build churches up, to multi thousands of people in their churches. I've helped solve maternal neonatal tetanus in countries where they couldn't get it. Uh, I've I've helped political leaders. Just I've done a lot of things, but every time it had an impact on moving people forward. And every time I say, even though I've done lots of things, each thing was important. And each next thing was important. And now, look, I'm in a digital space. Look, I'm going into animated TV shows. I'm going into building, who knows the amount of people that I'll touch with building that product line. That product line came to me, that opportunity came to me, but it isn't about me. It is about who I will touch in building that product line, which is why I need to move the vision forward. Because there's somebody out there that needs me to do this thing because they're going to be in a particular space at a particular time, and we're going to cross paths, and that's going to be where we need to be. So it's about moving the vision forward, because you never know who you're going to touch. But if you don't try it, then you'll never know where it will lead you to. So I'm a big believer in try everything. If something didn't work the first time, that's not failure. That's not failure. That is your opportunity to try something new. Because you never know which one thing is going to be your thing.
Oh, I love it. Just try it.
Try it.
It's not, okay, just try it. I love
So when
that.
I
Thank
was
you
a
so much.
kid, my mother put up on our wall, nothing beats a failure but to try. Try it.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work
Absolutely.
for you, pivot. It's okay. If you decide you want to be a nurse and you went to nursing school, and then people say, oh, you spent all that money on nursing school, but you don't want to be a nurse anymore, don't be a nurse. Go be whatever else you want to be. Now you want to be a vet tech. Don't be a vet tech. Now you want to go and you want to, sew clothes. Try it. Don't be afraid to move on if it doesn't work for you.
That's a gem right there. There's one guy in Hollywood, Asian guy, Ken. Ken is a doctor. And before he started saying it on TV, I kind of, because I've been following him for a while, but he's a comedian. Um, And but he's a doctor, right? And he didn't want to do that no more. He wanted to
Right.
be a comedian. And so that's part of moving your vision forward, because I feel that when we connect and move our vision forward, I love what you said. You're going to cross paths with someone that needed your vision,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, they say the richest place in the world is a cemetery,
Right.
because these people, they had visions, they had goals and whatever, but here's what they miss. What
Yeah.
they miss is moving it forward. And
Right.
all you got to do, like Cherie said, is try.
Try.
And you try it, keep moving forward. You're going to cross paths with someone that needed what you put out there, and now you guys can go bigger,
Really.
faster, longer. So, Sharice, thank you
How
so much.
many businesses did you have? How many businesses have you started over the years, Leslie?
Janitorial business, daycare. Prior to that, I don't think I've ever said this out loud. So prior to that, when I was living in the Caribbean, one of the things that when you're in the Caribbean is women trying to get products of anything, and it's very expensive. That was really my first go around, where I would travel to Puerto Rico, get things at a different price, and come back and sell. So that was really like my first entrepreneurial thing, and I used to make great money at that. So yeah, so about four businesses, 4 or 5
And just
different.
imagine if you hadn't done each one of those, we would not have Mosaic Sparks today.
Absolutely.
So you had to try. But you know what you were not afraid of? You were not afraid to pivot and try something else. We get
Absolutely.
so pigeonholed into I started this thing, it's not working, and now I can't do anything else. Don't get pigeonholed. If it's not working, pivot and try something else, because you never know, that may only be the stepping stone to where you want to go, because there are going to be lessons in that. You got lessons in that when you were doing wholesale distribution business, right? That's what you want to call it, right? Then you got lessons from janitorial, because when you were doing the wholesale going to Puerto Rico, you probably learned how to negotiate, which meant when you got to janitorial, learn how to negotiate contracts. Then you start dealing with children, individuals, and people. So when you did your daycare, from that you start learning about humanity and how to deal with people, right? And from there you go on and on and on. So each time you gain something to take you to the next thing until you hit that thing.
Ooh, you're so right. I forgot about network marketing. Started network marketing, I want to say in 2009, and I still get checks every month. Um, But what happened for me in network marketing is I learned a lot about personal development. And so you are so right. I have a master's degree, and in college, they don't teach you nothing about personal development. So when you talk about John Maxwell and that, I learned that through the network marketing company, right? And then, but I got to a point in it where I didn't see Leslie, and I needed to see me. And not only that, not only I needed to see me, here's the key for me. So if anybody doesn't know, and maybe you just started following me. So Mosaic, as you know, is a plethora of differences that come together. But the main reason for that is because of my grandmother. My grandmother she was an entrepreneur, and only when I've been wanting to start Mosaic for about 20 years, but I didn't have the courage, right?
See?
And the reason for Mosaic is my grandmother. Is every If you go on my website, you'll see a picture of her. Everything, for all of my energy goes into moving Mosaic forward,
Yeah.
because for me, that is the legacy. That's the up on top of the mountain that she's no longer with us, but that's up in the mountain that I want her to look over,
Yeah.
and I would be part of the people that's down in the bottom, and she could look over and sigh as joy of helping even move her mission forward, although she's not here.
Right.
So yes, Sharice, you really gave me a 360, because I hadn't thought about all those different steps, because all those were different steps that led me here. And for me, I am so focused on creating platforms for women. So focused on that because she was someone that helped. As a kid growing up, you would wake up in the morning and there'll be different people in your house, right? Because she done took somebody in. That was her spirit. So thank you so much for having me share that, because I hadn't thought about all those different steps. And guess what? You sparked, you invoked something in me that I am actually write those things down, right?
Yes.
I'm going to, God, I just even thought, man, when I was in elementary school, I was doing some hustling.
And I
Yeah.
think if it's who you are, and I was just saying to someone this morning, I think I was saying to you, I said, I wish that I would have just had the people around me. See, I come, we're a certain generation, certain ethnic races and cultures. It was about, listen, no, being an entrepreneur, that's not the thing. You got to go get a job. Work at the post office, work for the mailman. That was the generation, right? So it wasn't, that generation above me did not see nothing about. I'm the first entrepreneur, really, to break off
Mm,
my family and hold on to it, right? And they just to this day, they still cannot figure out what do you do every day. I'm like, girl, y'all just I don't know. They're not gonna never get it. They're not gonna never get it. The digital thing, they just not gonna get it. But they just could, and they would always try to push me. You have skills, you got a degree, you got this, go to job. So there were times when I'd actually be working in a high level job and still trying to run a high level business, right? Trying to do both at the same time. It's not possible. But I wish that I could have been a person who now encourage my daughter 100%. If she wants to be an entrepreneur, she will be an entrepreneur from day one to the day she died. That's what she wants, and I will support that fully. And anyone else, because I believe that that's what you want to do. My son is an entrepreneur. He never worked for anybody. He works for himself, and he is traveling all over the world. He's a dancer, and he's doing very good at it. And if you could have had that type of support from the beginning, imagine how much more further you go. So don't let those people push you into a pigeonhole. Follow your dream. Don't worry about anybody else copying it or taking it, because I'll tell you this much: what is for you is for you. God gave it to you, He gave it to you. Now, let me be clear. He also will give it to somebody else because you might be sleeping on it. So go do it. Follow your dream, find people, and surround yourself with those who are focused, like Leslie, myself, Stephanie, others, Candy, other people who are on this platform, and stick with them because they will encourage you. They will lift you up. They will support you, and be ready to open your pocketbook and support them back.
that's key right
Yeah.
there. Be ready to open your pocketbook. Oh,
Come on,
girl.
support
Oh,
them
we,
back.
we, we have to do a part two.
I drops money for people. I listen. You got something to sell. I buy. I might. I buy it and go give it to somebody else that I know can need it because I will just support you. I am a huge supporter. People, everybody knows me. Knows if I've not bought something from you, it's because you probably ain't selling something. I support people. Okay. If I didn't give it to you, probably gave you something, bought something, did something. I'm a big supporter because this is how communities are built.
Hmm.
Other communities, they shell out their pocketbooks. They're quick to buy their friends things, right? And then they're quick to go tell their other friends about their things. I know we have a reputation that we don't support each other, but we do. We do. And I think we should get rid of that. We should debunk that because we do support each other, and we should prove it by doing it, right? I think so.
Mm. We support each other and we should prove it by doing it.
Prove
Girl,
it by doing it.
prove it by doing it. Mm-mm-mm.
I
Candy
know we can
wants to
do
do
it
a
all
part
day.
two. We
Ooh,
got to do
love
it. Okay, we got to do a part two. Okay.
Candy,
And
you and me, hit me up on Facebook. You got my name. Hit me up on Facebook. Send me a DM. Listen, I'm open. I'll give you my windows of when I don't talk, and then we can talk. I sold Avon and greeting cards. Yes, and that probably helped you move your way up to the next thing, right? Yeah.
oh my goodness. This has been, like I said, we definitely gonna have to do a part two because and I love the peoples that are still here with us. Shout out to all of you that are
Thank
here
you.
watching with us. So grateful that you are here. Before we end, and like I said, we have to do a part two. Before we end, what is something that you want to share any last thoughts or anything like that you want to share with the people?
I think that if you are trying to build a business and you're not sure what to do, I think it's not, don't be afraid to ask for advice. Don't be afraid to ask for help. But I will tell you that when people are offering you advice and they're offering you help, please listen. Please listen. Try to take their advice. Try to listen to them. And then if you are moving through your business, we're doing a series in our group. I really recommend you go and listen to it. We go live 2 times a week and we talk about all these struggles that you're having in your businesses. But I find that a lot of people do not listen to their customers. They think they know more than the customer, but the customer probably really does know more than you. So listen to your customers. If they're trying to give you feedback, embrace it. Listen to them, take it in, analyze it, and then see how you can alter whatever it is the feedback is. I just don't think we a lot of times don't listen to our customers. My customer called me and said, "Hey, I really love this, but the cover looks like crap. Can't you do better than this?" Then I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna change, try to see how I can pivot and ask them, "What do you think could make this a little bit better? How do you think we could do this better?" Because not only does it help your customer, it helps you, but it helps build your brand loyalty. That's my tip for the day.
Oh, absolutely. Love that. That's something that we do in Mosaic is we have an offboarding. So in the offboarding session is for the client to be able to give us some feedback and so forth. And that does help you and you are appreciative of that. I know a lot of times we ask for reviews and we ask for that, but I think when there is an open channel where they can share and you may not and don't take it personally and
Right.
then you can now implement that. I think that that's absolutely great. And what I've done with my customers is, depending on some of the things that we may have gone through with their, like, trying to, as we're building their book and going through their book and we experience some challenges, I'll say right out, oh my goodness, like, this is the first time, I've never experienced that, but guess what, this is helping, this is going to help all the other customers. So thank you so much for that. Ladies, thank you for being here with us. Mosaic Sparks, we will be back here in 2 weeks. We meet the second Saturday and the fourth Saturday of the month, and we meet at 10 a.m. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, please hit me up. But thank you so much for being here. Sharice, thank you for being an
Oh my God,
incredible
thank you for
guest and
having me. I've
sharing.
been so honored. Listen, the sun came up. The sun came up with all of us together this morning. I am so honored to be here. I hope and pray that the information I shared was valuable to all of you. I really do. If you have feedback from me, I'm open. I'm here to take it. If you like to jump on a vision of mine on one of these animated shows or something else that we got going on, come on, DM us, join the group. The group is almost, we're like at 850 members in the group now. Is that cuckoo? It's like
Yeah. And
mind
that just
blowing.
happened
Like,
recently.
yeah, it's like growing up out of nowhere. The group is all about you coming and sharing who you are, and we're building a community of women helping women, right? Or men helping men, or people helping people, because the group is a plethora of everybody. It's a group of everybody. So we want you to come in and bring your expertise to the group, and drop comments and share and drop nuggets. I don't see enough of that, so I'd like to see some more of that in the group, but that's what it's there for. But yeah, thank you for having me today. This has been fantastic.
It's been
So I will
amazing.
drop the links, or you will drop digitaldownloadhub.com in the
I did.
comment.
I already
Okay,
did. Did that
thank
a long
you.
time ago.
Thank you.
You're
And you
so
guys follow
welcome.
me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram too, because
Just
I gotta
follow
really
her.
I
Just
gotta
follow
work on
her.
my Instagram game.
All
I
right,
took my
y'all.
took Facebook from 1800 to 10,000 in 45 days. I can't get 3 people on Instagram. I got to really work on that game. I got to
We're
work on
gonna have
that
to
game.
have a part two to come and talk about that part too.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all right, y'all. So appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Love you, and we will see you next time here on Mosaic Sparks. We're out.